Exploration. What is exploration? Well, exploration lies at the heart of our species and our civilization. Even though we began life somewhere in Africa, it's our need and our hunger for exploration that turned us into nomads, and we explored the entire globe. How did we do it? Well, we were only armed with our 2 feet and basic tools, and as time went on, we got better and better at building these tools, thereby enhancing our means to explore. We went from carriages to horses to planes to boats, and now we're here today, and I am come in a sedan to explore the unexplored. Why do you think this sedan is well equipped enough? Well, let me tell you. For starters, this has the highest ground clearance in its segment. In my opinion, is probably one of the highest ground clearance sedans I have ever seen. Potholes, obstacles are just that. They're nothing more than minor obstacles that you can overcome. And I have driven here to this beautiful location, and let me tell you, we've had tons of obstacles on the way, but the Slavia took them with ease. Has my journey ended? Not quite. I still have a lot to explore, and there's a whole road that goes all the way into the jungle that I have no idea where it leads to, what it's like. I do have a rough destination in mind, and thanks to Skoda Slavia and its capable handling, skills and ergonomics, I intend to explore the unexplored. So without further ado, this is Gavin Rodriguez, and with a little sense of adventure, let's go out and explore the unexplored. Well, our destination for the day is going to be the hill station of Bhandardara, which is nestled somewhere in the Sahyadri range of mountains. What you see in the back over here is an extension of that very range, and we thought, why not just stop, take in the beauty, take in the serenity around, and maybe have some fun with the Skoda Slavia. So currently on my way to Bhandardara in the Skoda Slavia, and here's a couple of things on the inside that make your exploration or ability to explore all that easier. For starters, you get ventilated seats, so in case it's a hot day outside, you're taken care of. You got a nice music system, so when you don't feel like listening to the sounds of nature and you're on the highway cruising about, you can listen to some really good music. Third of all, this is powered by a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder engine that produces about 148 bhp of power and 250 Nm of torque. Now, despite these high figures, this car is still quite efficient. Now, another thing I really like is the 1.5 litre engine. It is peppy, and it sounds good, and it goes even better. When you're cruising on the highway, it's nice and quiet, it'll do its duty. But when you're in the mood for a little bit of fun, put your foot down, and it's got a lot of punch in it, and I love that. I love that this engine has such duality and is a really fun cruiser, while it is also a really fun mile muncher, if you know what I mean. The Skoda Slavia comes equipped with a full LED headlamp, which makes driving at night a lot easier and makes your visibility a lot clearer. Another thing I really like is that you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard, so you can also plug in your phone or use it wirelessly, and that way you always have navigation, and you can choose to get lost, or you can always choose to find your way back, which makes this quite a good explorer. Now, one thing that really stands out for me is the ground clearance on a Skoda Slavia, because through all of these roads, there were sometimes I came across some really bad roads, and well, what can I say? The ground clearance made little work of it. It managed to go over most bumps and undulations very easily. In fact, in some places where certain SUVs seemed a bit skittish about venturing further in, the Skoda Slavia very happily continued on. Well, after a long day, I'm finally here at Bhandardara, which is about 170 kilometers away from Mumbai for reference. And I've seen some sights and scenes that I have never seen before in Maharashtra. What an utterly picturesque road trip it's been to this place here. And let me tell you, after today's day, I came across a lot of bad roads, some places which had absolutely no roads whatsoever. But throughout the time, I'm so glad that the Skoda Slavia was well equipped to take on these roads and take on these challenges. And thanks to its high ground clearance and its capable drivetrain and its really capable suspension, I made it to this beautiful place here. So after hunting here and there and going into these broken lands, I finally found a beautiful site over here to end this video. This one over here is called Necklace Waterfall, just for reference in case you're wondering. But I would definitely recommend you guys to go out with your cars and explore and find such places for yourselves. This season is for exploration. In fact, I think any season is for exploration. So have a bit of spirit, have a bit of sense of adventure, take your car out and go out and explore. Well, as for me, I've had a long day exploring. As you can tell, I look like a mess. My car is also covered a bit in muck. So I'm going to go back home and give myself and the Skoda Slavia a good wash. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I've inspired you to go and explore.